Okay, guys, how are you guys doing? Today is actually October 31st, 2025. I'm actually going to be doing a quick doing an update here on 3i Atlas. Man, now this is something that's going through our solar system and it's classed as a comet. All right. Now, let me go back a little bit, guys. Back in 2017, an interstellar object. It's a cigar-shaped object. Came into our solar system. Keep in mind, these objects all came from the same place. Oumuamua. That was 2017. Now, the crazy thing about Oumuamua is that it has similar behavior like 3i Atlas, where the trajectory, it actually changes trajectory. And when the thing was actually leaving our solar system, it actually come back. All right. Now, there's another one called 2019 21 Borisov. 21 Borisov, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Borisov is 21 slash Borisov. That was 2019. Another interstellar object entered our solar system. Now, fast track to 2025, back in June 1st, 3i Atlas entered our solar system. All right. Now, as I said before, I think I said it in one of my videos, this object, 3i Atlas, guys, it came from a section in space where they call the WOW signal. Now, back in 1977, they had a signal that came from NASA recorded a signal, came from outer space. All right, guys? And trying to get in the middle here. Now, I'm just adjusting my mic. Now, in that section of space, when they first recorded it, just adjusting my mic. First recorded this, guys. Yeah, just adjusting my mic a little bit. Change my chair. Yeah. In that section of space, guys, bear with me. In that section of space where they recorded that WOW signal back in 1977, that is exactly where these interstellar objects actually came from. Now, also, just to fast track a little bit, there's a remote viewer, a very popular remote viewer. His name is Sebastian Martin, I think. Some Eastern European. He actually did work for certain big contract facilities, also a few nations. He actually assists them with a few things. So the guy is highly recognizable. He have good credential, a very credible remote viewer gentleman. I looked into him. He came on a show and they were asking him questions. Now, keep in mind, this guy have contact with CERN. Now, he brought up a story on that show, which was very, very interesting. And I just want to share it. He's communicating with a lady that worked for CERN. Um, she's an astrophysicist. So basically, what was told to Sebastian Martin by this lady, who's no longer at CERN, is actually, according to Sebastian, she's on the run. Obviously, for spilling the bean and letting people know what's really happening. She said in a boardroom at CERN, what's going on, CERN actually opened up a portal in this boardroom, and they use it to communicate with extraterrestrial beings. They also use it to communicate with the extraterrestrials that are actually on 3i Atlas. Keep in mind, I'm going according to the story. I'm just repeating the story. This wasn't told to me. It was told to a very highly credited remote viewer gentleman by the name of Sebastian Martin. You could look him up on YouTube. He's the one this story was told to by this young lady that working for CERN. So she said, when they opened up the portal, they came through the portal like a hologram. It wasn't a real person, but it was a hologram of who's on the ship, how they look. She said, these are giants, basically. These are giants and I've been saying it for a long time. They're coming, they're here. And she said, 9 vessels, huge vessels are coming. So far, there's like around 3 of them in our solar system, but she said it's a total of around 9 And in these 9 vessels, there is around 5 million extraterrestrial giants that are actually coming back to Earth. They've been here before. Obviously, if you follow the Sumerian history, if you know anything about the Anunnakis, great author you guys can look into is Zachariah Stitchin. He mentioned the 9 planets where these extraterrestrial giants that have basically come to Earth created humans because they needed gold, natural resources on their planet. Um, this information you can actually find it on Sumerian tablet. So basically, what Zachariah Stitchin did is just decode these tablets and translate them so we can actually read them in English. So what he did, he was one of the few people out there that could actually decode from Sumerian tablets into English, and he wrote books about it. I've gotten a couple of his books and I've read them, and in his books did mention the return of the Anunnakis. These are celestial giants, and they're the one that created us. Also, another book you could read is called the Kolbrin Bible. Talk about the return of the destroyer, which is the planet Nibiru, Nemesis, Wormwood, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about the same thing here. Certain cultures call it different names. The Hopi tribe, they call it the black and red Kachina. Basically, it's just light refraction. When the planet is, when we're moving away from the incoming planet, it look red. Sorry, when we're moving away, it look blue, and when we're moving towards it, it look red due to light refraction. If you're in photography, you know what I'm talking about. But the reason why we move away and move towards is because the way our planet revolves around the sun and the way it's coming up through our solar system from the bottom. Sometimes we're moving towards the incoming planet. Sometimes we're moving away from it. I think at this point now in the winter season, our planet, our Earth is actually moving away from it. So, but still, interesting stuff is happening in our sky. In this, also this, according to Sebastian, in this meeting that the lady had at CERN with these quote unquote extraterrestrial giants, they said they're going to return back into 2026, moving into 2027, where they're going to be start landing on Earth. These motherships are not, these 9 vessels that are called that are basically motherships. They're not coming to Earth. They're going to remain in space, and they're going to take smaller vessels. These beings will be in smaller vessels, and they will travel from the ship to Earth. And this is how they're going to commute, commute back and forward with their travel from their spaceship to our planet. Well, realistically, it's their planet. But so this is a story of the lady from CERN who's now not at CERN. She's basically, according to the remote viewer, Sebastian Martin, she's on the run because she has spilled the bean and she wants the public to know what's really happening. A lot of stuff are happening, guys. If you look in the sky right now, there is a barrage of meteor that's headed our way. There's a tail of meteor, a bunch of them. Also, you know, not trying to get all religious here. Also in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, it says, during these times, what we call the last days, the skies will be full with fire. Now, that fire is actually asteroid and meteor. And according to all Sumerian texts, the word Lord, when they have it in the Bible, is because this is the Sumerian way of calling the incoming planet, which is Nibiru. They actually call it Lord. So in the Old Testament, there's a few prophets like Jeremiah, other prophet. If you read their scripture and when you see the word Lord, if you replace that word with the word Nibiru, you're starting to realize that the sentence is starting to make a lot more sense according to what they were talking about or what they were prophesying about. So if you replace a few words, which is the word Lord with Nibiru or Wormwood or Nemesis, you'll actually have a better understanding of what you're reading in the Old Testament. And the reason why I'm saying this, guys, I'm not trying to change the Bible in any way, but realistically, how many times have they changed the scripture of the Bible? You know, if you really look into the history of the Bible, this has been done so many times, but I'm not trying to change it. I'm just using critical thinking here because of the information that I've came across by basically studying Sumerian history and knowing this, it made the translation of the Holy Bible a lot more clearer, and I understand it with more of a key intuition of what that person was actually trying to explain while they were writing down these information. Their way of explaining it, what certain words mean to them at that particular point, especially the word Lord. These stories in the Bible, guys, what you guys need to know, it's all old Sumerian stories, the Old Testament. It's all old Sumerian stories they put together to create the Bible. All right. That's why the Bible is like the oldest stories on the planet, because it is some of the oldest stories on the planet. I don't really see it as a religious book. I actually see it as a historical book because these events actually happened. They really did. But as I said, over the years, certain meanings, certain scriptures, certain books were actually taken out. I guess whoever took them out did it just to benefit their agenda. Uh, Part of it, I do believe, has to do with control. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyway, guys, but this interesting object, it's actually around the sun right now. And, before it actually make its way around the sun, it was changing colors. It was green at one point, and now when it actually arrived close to the sun, it started turning red. The tail of this object start pointing towards the sun, which is not behavior of a comet. There's a light from the in front of it shining forward, and it's like the light beams are shining forward in front of this comet while it was coming in. It had changed its trajectory, which is the pathway of its the traveling of this object have changed so many different times when it comes to changing the direction where it's going, the speed that's going in. These things has been altered with so many times, which tells me it's intelligently controlled by something. There's While it's making its way around the sun right now, we have two more interstellar objects in our planet, in our solar system, guys, which will line up. So it will be in sync with these. When it makes its way fully around the sun, it's going to be in sync with two more interstellar objects. I forgot the name of one of them, but I think one of them is Swan. It's called also Swan, which is even bigger than 3i Atlas. So the chance of this happening is like 1 in 1 billion. So it's not natural. It's basically what I'm trying to say to you. The sinking of all three interstellar objects in space while 3i Atlas complete its journey around the sun, passing the sun, the synchronicity of all three objects, it's not natural. For that to happen naturally, the chances is like 1 in 1 billionth. So it is not a natural phenomenon. It's an engineered phenomenon. So according to the story this lady has spilled at working at CERN, and according to what I've been predicting over the years, I keep saying Daddy's coming home. Daddy's coming home. Daddy's going to want his gold, and they better have his save on his gold because these Anunnaki, they use gold in their atmosphere. They are coming back, guys. All right. A lot of this stuff that's happening on our planet right now, it's all distraction. They're trying so hard right now to distract people so that they don't look up. Looking up is not good anymore. Paying attention to the sky, it's not a good thing. All right. Now, again, we also just had a major earthquake in the hurricane, sorry, in the Caribbean. We also had a major earthquake right next to Guadeloupe. Jamaica got hit pretty hard with a Category 5. It's the biggest one in history that so far that we have ever recorded in our civilization, because there's been more civilization than us that have grazed the ground of this planet. We don't even talk about. You're talking about the Aztecs, the Atlanteans, the Mayans. Of course, they've been through all these natural disasters. They have, but the reason why we're going through it right now is because we're at the end of the cycle, our cyclical cycle, which is that 3,654-year cycle I keep talking about, when the return of the Anunnaki will happen. Um, but I do believe everything that's happening now on a world stage when it comes to um, wars, rumors of wars, um, all these stuff, it's all part of the distraction. It all tied to what's in the sky. It is all tied to Three Eye Atlas. It's all tied to the incoming planet. It's all tied to the what else? The synchronicity of what's happening right now with Three Eye Atlas and the other two objects. That's what when Three Eye Atlas complete its journey past the sun. Everything that's happening here is tied to what's happening right now in the sky. I know they label this thing as a comet, but realistically, guys, it's like calling a duck that doesn't quack a duck. It moved like a turtle. It behaved like a turtle. It eat like a turtle. It swim like a turtle, but it's not a turtle. It's a duck. It doesn't quack. So it's like I'm just using that as a reference to how they're classing Three Eye Atlas and these other interstellar objects that's actually coming in our solar system and behaving the way that they're behaving. It's not behaving like what it's being classed as. It's like that reference I just mentioned with the duck and the turtle. It's like seeing a turtle, but you're told to call it a duck. It doesn't quack. You have all the characteristics of a turtle, but you're being told it's a duck. No explanation. Leave it at that. Accept the information and see it for what it is. I was like, okay, it's a duck, even though I know it's a turtle. So this is the best way I can illustrate what Three Eye Atlas is, even though it's ranked as a comet. It's not behaving like one. First of all, can comet shine light? Comet doesn't uh, radiate a high level of carbon dioxide. It doesn't. This thing, these interstellar objects, this is part of their characteristics. Nickel is another thing that get that's coming off of this object. Chloride. Uh, I'm not 100% sure on chloride, but nickel and carbon dioxide, I know for a fact. The fact that it actually glow, change colors, and all these things, come on, folks, put two and two together. You realize that this is not the natural behavior of a comet. It flies so close to the sun. I saw the video yesterday. The temperature was like almost 6,000 degrees. And it didn't phase it one bit. And a glowing thing, like a cloak, appeared around this object before it got really close to the sun. It's like a protective shield. So come on, explain that to me. Why is this happening? Because it's not a comet. This thing's not going anywhere. It's going to be here for a long time. I foresee this sticking around for the next, let's say, 200 years. Yes, it's going to go away from the sun, go towards Mars, but I promise you, it's not going to go too far out of our solar system. It's going to be in our solar system because they're here. They're here to stay for a long time. And they're coming back. These Anunnaki giants are coming back. And I really do believe what this lady said from CERN. I really believe that story. And I know it sounds like so crazy that they're opening up a portal at CERN to communicate with extraterrestrials. I really believe CERN have that capability. I really do. I'd be stupid not to think like that. Look what's going on. Look at all these sightings all over the world. We have entered the age of robotics. Things we thought that was impossible is now possible. So why wouldn't I think that man don't have the power to open up a portal? Come on, of course. And a lot of this technology that we're using, we didn't create it. This was handed to us. It was given to us by advanced race. We just decide to use it the wrong way. We use it to enslave, to control, to create a system where people have to basically work, slave, pay their bills, and never get to enjoy anything, see much out of life. It's just that constant motion. You're constantly on the wheel. So this knowledge was given to mankind, but mankind didn't use it correctly. Well, the way we use it to enslave. But realistically, guys, if you really think that we created these things, you're sadly mistaken. But anyway, that's the update of 3i Atlas. They're coming back. They're already in our solar system, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. So anyway, thank you for watching this episode, and I appreciate it. If you're not didn't subscribe to my Spotify channel, go ahead and do so.